I want to have a second message about the gift. You know, when you receive a gift, this means that someone else has paid the price for it. And in salvation, of course, that someone is the Lord Jesus. We know that the Bible teaches us that though he was rich, he became poor for our sakes. The pain and the suffering, not only of Calvary, but throughout his incarnation, he suffered temptation. He suffered the disappointment of the disciples' misunderstanding. He suffered ridicule and abuse, often from his own family, his half-brothers and sisters. So he had a lot of suffering that he went through. And then he went to the cross, and following the Levitical system, he was the lamb who takes away the sin of the world. So he paid the price for this free gift that God offers to us. Now, however, the gift being free to us, it doesn't mean that there's not a price that we pay. Because Jesus says those who come to him will also pay a price. He tells his disciples to count the cost. There will also be social antagonism toward them if they do not follow the ways of the prevailing culture. Jesus says to his disciples that they must take up the cross and follow him. He tells them they must calculate the cost. It'll be expensive to be a follower of Jesus socially, perhaps economically, and personally. Now we know that this means that to follow the Lord Jesus, we have a price that we have to pay. Recently, I've talked about persecution coming to the United States, and that's a possibility of the price that we'll have to pay. Now, this doesn't mean that that has value for our salvation, because our salvation is already secure. It is free. It's the free gift of God. As we mentioned from Ephesians 2:8 and 9, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. So God provides this free to anyone, whosoever will may come. But nevertheless, once we become followers of the Lord Jesus, we've accepted the gift of salvation, there may be a price to pay. And Jesus would not have his disciples think that once you're saved, then everything is going to be a rosy path for you, and everything's going to fall into place, and your children are all going to be A students and get scholarships to the leading colleges, and you're never going to have health issues. As a matter of fact, when we follow the Lord as we should, we see in the life of Stephen stoned to death for that. We see the Apostle Paul put in jail, beaten, left for dead, ultimately killed for his faith. We see John the Apostle exiled on the island of Patmos. So there are many ways that we pay the price, but we do want to remind ourselves and thank God that the gift is free. There is the payment that only Jesus could make, but he willingly made that. I hope that you have cried out to the Lord for this free gift. I hope you've asked him to give it to you. He says, whosoever comes to me will not be disappointed. Anyone who calls upon him will not be turned away. So in this Christmas season, the gift is the Lord Jesus Christ. It's the personal relationship with him that we might have by faith, believing what God has said as his testimony about his only begotten Son, the Lord Jesus. I trust that you will consider this seriously, and if there's a desire in your heart to do that, that's an indication that the Lord is in this. Jesus said that the Lord draws people to him. So you don't just wake up and think of this on your own. It's not something that you would naturally do. It is a supernatural work in which God is involved if you're thinking about this. And so If that is your heart, I hope that you respond and say yes to the gift of God. But know up front, he's not got a document with fine print to trick you. He's telling you right up front, to receive this gift, to be my disciple, to follow me, could be very costly to you as well. Well, God bless you in this Christmas 2020.